Hello everyone and welcome to my desk. Today I'm going to be doing a little video where I prep for the semester ahead. I'm going to sit down and just kind of get ready for the semester and plan out my schedule and all of that stuff. So I'm going to take you along with me. I hope you guys enjoy and let's get going. Alright, so for school I use mostly online stuff, but a little bit of paper stuff. So I have my iPad over here, and then along with that I have a case for it. It's just this navy one from Amazon, and I like it that I can stand it up like this. I often have my textbooks on here, so it's really handy. And then I also have an Apple Pencil for this, and I just recently got this and it's been super fun and really handy. Then I have my trusty old computer that is not the cutest computer, but it gets the job done, and I like having the combo of the computer and the iPad just so that I can type and then also have a completely separate device for writing notes or reading my textbook on. Alright, so I pulled up my Google Calendar here, and I apologize for the noise in the background. It is incredibly windy outside, so you probably can hear it, but the first thing I like to do is to get my Google Calendar set up. So I actually like to use a combination of online planning and also bullet journal planning. So to begin with everything, Google Calendar is kind of a way to set up my weekly and daily schedule of when my classes all are. So unfortunately all of my university classes are online for the first semester of school, so I have everything online on Zoom, so it's going to be a lot of hopefully structured time so I don't get burnt out super quickly. So I already actually started doing this for some of my classes, but my schedule has changed quite a bit just because I needed certain requirements for graduation and just how the semester all worked out. So I'm going to be changing that up a little bit. As you can see, I only have classes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and not on Tuesday, Thursday, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's how it has to be. So on the side over here, I have a list of all of my classes, and I made separate classes or separate calendars for every class of mine. So I'm taking 5 classes this semester, so I have 5 different calendars and I put them all into different colors. So I was originally taking abnormal psych first semester, but that changed to second now, so I'm going to be changing this one to the different class that I'm taking. So I'm just going to rename that and then change the calendar. Okay, so I finished adding in that other class, so my entire schedule is completely up to date. So here's a little look at my weekly schedule. So I don't know how it happened, but I have 5 classes on Wednesday from 10:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night. So we'll see how that goes. But I have Tuesday, Thursdays completely off. I actually prefer to look at my schedule on my iPad instead of my computer, but I find that when I'm creating the dates, it's a lot easier to do that on my computer instead, just because then I can create recurring events. And then on here, I don't even know if you can on an iPad, but yeah, so this is my schedule on my iPad. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add in any extracurricular events that I have going on, just to kind of add those into my schedule so I can see from week to week when I have other things that aren't involving school. So I just have like work stuff and volunteering. So I updated that as far as I can for now. There's obviously going to be more stuff going on, but this is just a basic schedule of what my weeks are going to look like at this point. It's going to change as I get more information, but those are just my classes. I like to do this at the beginning so I have an idea at what my schedule is going to be looking like. So obviously I'm going to know that Wednesdays are going to be absolutely awful, but then I have the next day, Thursday, to look forward to where I don't have any classes. Alright, so the next thing that I like to do is make a new folder for the new year. So I'm actually going into my 3rd year of university, which is very exciting. So I'm going to make a brand new folder for year 3. It's crazy that time has flown by this much already, but I like to do this to kind of get everything. I also have all of this stuff in a university folder so that I can just keep everything together. So in my year 3, I'm going to make a semester 1 folder. And while I'm here, I might as well make a semester 2 folder for in the winter time in January. Okay, so then in each of these semester folders, I like to make separate folders for all of my classes. So now that I've got those all in, I have a place to put all of my stuff once I start like typing things up and stuff like that. I also sometimes do this on my iPad, but I find it easier to type things on my computer, so I'm making them on here, and then I'll probably just add stuff on my iPad later on if I all of a sudden need it. Okay, so here is my stats binder. I took stats last semester and now I'm taking stats 3, so I decided to keep some of my notes. I don't know how much I'm going to actually use them, but I have a bunch of notes from exams and stuff like that in here to use if needed. I like to have a binder for more of these like math-based classes, just so I have a place to keep everything. So this one has a bunch of formula sheets and other tables and stuff like that. I also like having and using graph paper like this. I find it nice to do math on there, and especially if you're graphing things, but I'm not doing that here. And also having these page protectors is so nice for formula sheets like this, so that you don't have to worry about it ripping, because I'm constantly pulling out all of these stats tables and stuff like that. So I have this binder ready to go. I'm trying to keep the majority of my schoolwork online just to keep things paperless, but I do have that option if I want to. So like I mentioned before, I'm trying to keep things pretty paperless this year, so I am going to be using Notability for my notes. So I made folders for lots of my, or all of my classes on here, and then I'm hopefully going to be doing a bunch of practice stuff on here. I'm still pretty new to Notability. I did a lot of research between Notability and GoodNotes, and I decided to go with Notability. I don't really know why. I think they're so similar, so this is just a look at it. I'm excited to do lots of math work on here just because I'm like going through so much paper when it comes to like stats and stuff like that, and I think it'll be really nice to have a place to put it on here and then not have to worry about going through so much paper. It's ridiculous how much I go through when it's exam time, so we'll see how this goes, and I'm excited to write notes and stuff on there. I think it'll be really fun, but yeah, that is kind of what I'm going to be using on my iPad. I've also seen some people use OneNote, but I'm not really sure if I plan to use that or not. It's an option that I have. Alright, let's talk textbooks. First year, I bought textbooks for every single one of my classes before the school year even started, which was a really huge mistake. Textbooks are so expensive, and to be completely honest, sometimes you don't even need them. So in my second year of university, I started by going to the classes and attending them a few times before choosing to buy them. So for some classes, I just completely didn't buy the textbook and I was fine. Normally the professor gives a pretty good idea on whether it's a good idea to get the textbook or not. Sometimes it's suggested, but if they provide really good PowerPoints or slides, then I like to go with that. And that's just me personally. I think it would really depend on the class and the professor, but it has saved me a lot of money to not actually purchase textbooks for every single class, so don't buy them right away. That's my number one tip. So this lovely stack of textbooks is my list, or my pile of books that I'm going to be selling. So every year I have been really good with buying primarily used textbooks. It saves so much money, and I don't just buy used textbooks from the bookstore at my university. I also buy them secondhand from people in like Facebook groups and other websites like that. I find that that's even cheaper and you can get some really good deals. Another option that I have used more recently is buying my textbooks online so that I can have them on my iPad, and I can use my Apple Pencil to write and draw on the textbook. Okay, let's talk workspaces for school. So one thing that I think I want to implement this year for my classes is to try to split up each class in a different workspace. For example, I could do my first class of the day here in my bedroom at my desk. Maybe my second class of the day is done in my dining room on my dining room table, and the third one is done at my kitchen island. And then I would keep this consistent throughout the entire semester, kind of like attending different classes as a different space to work to get your mind into each different class. So I'm going to test this out this year and see how it works. I think it's an interesting idea and might help to separate my studies instead of like sitting in my bed for the entire day on my super long days for 10 hours, because that sounds awful. But wherever you choose to do your schoolwork, I think it's important to have a nice clean and neat space to do your schoolwork. So if it's just one spot, then that's great too. And here we are again with my trusty Google Calendar, and I'm going to be inputting in all of the information for my syllabus. So some people get the syllabi for all of their classes before the classes even start, but unfortunately I don't. I only get it on my first day of school, which is September 9th. But I'm just going to show you guys what I like to do with my syllabi, how I kind of organize them and prepare myself for the couple of months ahead. So here on Google Calendar, I like to go through each of my classes and input them into the online Google Calendar. I like this because then it sends reminders to my phone. For example, let's say on Thursday the 24th, I have a anatomy and physiology quiz. So then I like to create a new event. I like to do it so the event is an all-day one, so it looks a little bit different than my everyday schedule, if that makes sense. So there we go. So now I have my anatomy and physiology quiz in here. So here I am on my weekly layout. As you can see, when I make it an all-day thing, it looks a little bit different, but I'm sure you guys know because everyone uses Google Calendar. So that's what I like to do first, just to kind of get everything set up. And I like this because then I literally have this wherever I go. It's on my phone, it's on my iPad, it's on my computer. Okay, so the next thing I do is pull out my bullet journal, which I'm actually surprised I haven't even pulled out yet. I love this guy so much. I don't know why it has washi tape on it, but I love using a combination of online planning and then also paper planning. I think it's so fun to use both, and I might make an entire video about it, but I'm going to pull out my bullet journal, and I'm actually going to show you guys my last semester thing that I do in my bullet journal, just so that because I don't have all my dates yet for my classes, then this way I can show you what a completed one looks like. So here I have my January, February, March, and April little spreads. I like to do my Google Calendar first so that I can refer to it and then go through all of them while I write in all of my dates in my bullet journal. Okay, so here is a finished one that I made. This is not actually my schedule. I found one that I had made for an example in a different video, so I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. So I like to highlight all of the days that are through Monday through Friday, so I kind of know where the weekends are and stuff like that, and then I can easily distinguish between when I have some free time, when I don't have school, and stuff like that, so I can kind of work ahead on the weekends. Just like on my Google Calendar, I like to color code everything, so I made different colors for all of the classes on here. And I guess you could do the same as on your Google Calendar, but it doesn't really matter to me. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Here's just a little flip through. So because my semester is 4 months long, I have 4 pages for this. So then in my bullet journal for the entire year, I'll end up having 8 pages of kind of layouts like this. Another tip is if you have a class where you have a kind of a self-paced learning environment, then you can use your syllabus and also your Google Calendar and kind of make your own due dates for things. So let's say, oh, this week 2 suggestion is to have topic number 1 completed, so I like to put that into my Google Calendar so I have an idea on what I should be aiming to complete things for. And usually for me this means that I want to complete things faster than what it suggests, just so I can finish off those self-paced learning classes even quicker than they have to be. I've also heard of people using Notion to help them organize all of their events into a chronological order where they can also make to-do lists, I think. So maybe I will get on board with that, but I did download the app, so we'll see if I decide to use it or not. I would have to play around with it a little bit. Alright, so that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments down below. And if you guys would like to see more school-related videos like this, because it is a big part of my life right now. So that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.